What's good, guys? Time for a DO short. Before we do this, man, I got to start out by saying congratulations to Travis Hunter, the best college football player in America, possibly definitely one of the best college football players ever to play. Shout out to him, Don DeMarco, for sure. So let's get into this. Now, I know people, everyone is all over Travis Hunter's girlfriend slant fiance. Everyone's on. I mean, that you talk about trending, viral, everything is going crazy. And there's another video out there floating around. I'm not going to show it here, but there's a video out there floating around. Travis Hunter was at an event probably tied to the Heisman Trophy, and he had fans there, and he's meeting his fans, and he's signing autographs, and he's taking pictures, and he's doing what he's doing. This is what you're supposed to do. And his fiance is sitting there in the shot on the sofa, visibly upset, and allegedly she made a comment to him to the effect of, "Am I supposed to just sit here all day?" Attitude, all that. And I don't know what Travis Hunter said to her. I know what I would have said to her. But that was definitely a bad look. And with everything that's going on, I'm pretty sure that that truly affected Travis Hunter, and he's surrounded by all of the people who are closest to him in his life and those people who got him there. If I'm just looking at the game and how it's played, she really misplayed that. This is not the time for her to go into that mode. But having said that, she's probably been like that from day one. So as far as she's concerned, she's just doing what she always do. So we're gonna get into this with a dose of game. You guys know that video I did about a day or so ago. I was talking about this at length. I mentioned a dose of game. In fact, I ended that video stream with a video from Dose of Game. I got two more videos from Brother Dose. The reason I keep bringing him up, his videos are on point. I mean, he sums it up in such a way that it's like, bro, there it is right there. Succinct. It's right there. I mean, it just has the impact. Take it or leave it, but it's right there. So he has two videos we're gonna check out. The first video is called Bad Girl versus Good Girl. Who wins? And this video, I think, is about this video is a year old. The other video we're going to watch is like 4 years old, or maybe it's the other way around. But both these videos weren't just done. It's not like he's doing it now. It's like he's looking at what's going on and he's just making this video because of Travis Hunter's having problems. No, this is a Dose of Game has yet to even address what's going on. I'm pretty sure he's working on it. I look forward to seeing it. But we're going to check out this video. We're going to let it run all the way through. It's about 3.5 minutes. Um, you guys need to watch this. Any guy out here who is trying to figure it out, new to the game, you just starting to come up on women, you certainly need to watch this and understand how the game works. So let's check this out.
The time men have had a choice to make, good girl or bad girl. Now, as a player, we know that a good girl can become a bad girl, but a bad girl can never truly be a good girl again, no matter how hard she tries. First off, what is the difference between the two? Is it as simple as one being bad while the other is good? Nah, it's a little deeper than that. So sit back and take notes while I break it down from a player's point of view. But first, I want you guys to be on the lookout for my new book, All Game, No Chaser. This book is going to reveal everything I know
I
about
haven't read
getting
that book,
women
but
and
I'm
more.
going to get it.
Just download my free ebook, 7 Ways to Attract Women, to get on my email list. And when the new book drops, I'll send you an email. Now, let's get into some game. There's a psychological term coined the Madonna whore complex. This ideology places women into two categories: the Madonna, a woman who is pure, virtuous, and nurturing, or a whore, a woman who is deemed as overly sexual, manipulating, and slutty. A lot of women claim this is a sexist narrative created by toxic men. Whether it is or not is to be debated. Personally, when it comes to a woman being a good girl or a bad girl, I don't feel one is better than the other. I truly believe they are both different sides of the same coin. If you press a good girl long enough, You will bring out her inner whore, and most bad girls were probably good girls at one time in their lives.
Facts.
They both have their pros and cons, so let's run through some. Good girls are considered the one with wholesome values and moral boundaries, as pure as the driven snow. And even if she is not a virgin, the men she has been with are very limited and far between. Now, the cons of a good girl are these. She may be a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Let me explain. I knew a guy that married a virgin, and after 10 years of marriage, Dr. Jekyll turned into Mrs. Hyde. She divorced him and tried to fit everything she missed out on in her 20s into her 30s. Good girls can also be very boring and bland at times. Not all, but some. Now, bad girls, on the other hand, are like the forbidden fruit. They taste good, but most likely are bad for your health. Bad girls can drive a man wild in ways that can go against our better judgment. They are great in bed and fun to be around. There are also many cons to a bad girl. They are not submissive. In the eyes of society, they are considered loose. They often dress slutty and act very whorish. Most men see them as a short-term play, the type of woman that you don't want to get serious about. Players have an old saying that goes, treat a whore like a queen and a queen like a whore. This simply means that you have to switch your approach up when it comes to dealing with each of these women. Instead of being Prince Charming to one and a jerk to the other, trade personas, or hell, even step outside the box and give them a mixture of both. You'll get more appreciation, interest, and respect by doing the opposite of how someone is used to being treated. Always remember, what women tell everyone they want versus what really turns them on don't typically align with each other. I can go way deeper into the psyche of the female mind, but you guys know I like to keep these videos sweet and short. But I do have a whole section in the Associates of Game degree that goes way more in depth. You should check it out. But for now, I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. But until then, play on, player.
The brother knows what he's talking about. I mean, I agree with everything he said there. Everything he said there. It was spot on. Right? Especially the part about the bad girls at some point were good girls and they just moved over to the dark side. It's like the Jedi and the Sith. Right? And then, you say, well, can a bad girl go back to being a good girl? It's really difficult. It's really difficult. And the reason it's so difficult is when things go wrong. A good girl, she's with a dude, she's with her man. She hasn't been with a lot of men. She's with her man. If things go wrong, she'll get upset or whatever, but she's not likely to just go out, meet some random dude and go have a one-nighter. That just doesn't sit well with her. Like, she's been with that dude. That's her guy. She wants to be with him. She's just upset with him. Whereas a bad girl, she's upset about something. You laid down some boundaries. You said, now you can't do something or whatever it is. She gets mad at you, goes out, and stays out all night. Bangs some dude, some random dude, may or may not even get his name. And then come home the next morning. Of course, her homegirls, the girls that came from the bad girl crew, they're going to cover for her. And she's going to come home. I was at Sally's house, or I was over Lucretia's house, and Lucretia's going to be like, yeah, she was over here. She drank too much because she's thinking about you and what you said. And she's and then try to turn it on the guy. And the guy's just sitting there like, okay, I just want to make sure she's safe. Yeah, she's safe. She's over here. Women do that. Guys try, but women make it happen. Dudes fumble all the time. So bad girls are more likely to go out and just smash some dude. She may or may not come back. Right? When she does come back, she may or may not stay. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. Right? So when you look at bad girls and you look at good girls, that's kind of how that plays out. That's what you're looking at. And fellas, it's up to you to choose properly. Remember, women control sexual access and men control relationships, especially when we're talking about marriage. You got to go marry her. You got to go buy the ring. You got to go propose and all that kind of stuff. And that's how it works. You choose the wrong one. Don't get mad at her, bro. You chose her. This is why you have to vet. This is why your vetting process should be at least 2 years. And this is why you have the closest people to you. Your inner circle should be involved in this vetting process. You got a good relationship with your parents, they should be involved. You know what I mean? You get whoever your closest people are. If they got a problem with her, any kind of problem whatsoever, they come to you and tell you, you got to, accept it for what it is. It's loving advice from the people who love you the most. And you got a decision to make. Simple as that. There's one more video we want to watch before we wrap up this short, because we want to keep this one nice and short. This video, again, this one's it's a few years old, I believe. I think this video might be 4 years old or something like that. This video is, again, Dose of Game. Shout out to him. How to Date a Stripper. Now, why did I put this up here? Right? Well, allegedly, Travis Hunter's girlfriend used to be in this world. She used to be in this world. She's, they say she was an exotic dancer. It's alleged that she was dancing at Cheetahs in Atlanta, or one of the big clubs in Atlanta. If she was, then if she was part of that world, then she's gonna fit into these categories that Dose is talking about. And again, when I heard this video the first time, this one's a little longer, it's 8 minutes and 30 seconds. When I was watching this video and I'm like, yeah, yeah, I know what he's talking about, because I've been in that world. I know what it is. So I thought that this video is really appropriate to the situation. And again, this is not just aimed at Travis Hunter. Fellas, this is for everyone. This is a teachable moment for everyone. Period. This is why your game has to be on point. This is why you need to get as much information as you can from whoever you can, right? Take what works for you, takes what you need, and leave the rest behind. I'm not saying you got to live this life. I'm not saying you got to be super red pill. I'm not saying you got to be black pill. I'm not saying you got to be MGTOW. I ain't saying none of that. All I'm saying is listen to what everyone is saying and take the good information for you and leave the bad, right? And that information, what's good for you might not be good for me. I might take something you think is garbage. You might take something I think is garbage, but so long as if it works for you and it helps to better you. This is why we do this. This is why we had these talks. So let's get into it. How to Date a Stripper. This is King. This is A Dose of Game.
As you all know, I teach an online course on how to attract women. One of my students asked a very interesting question the other day. He asked, should a player date strippers? And if yes, how do you date a stripper? Well, anything is possible. But my question is to him, why would you want to? Is it because you think they will be easier to get into bed? Do you really want to be with someone who works in the sex industry? But like most guys, he didn't want to get introspective or go that deep into his own psyche. He just wanted to bang strippers. So since he asked, I should give. If you frequent strip clubs on a regular basis, those strippers already know who your face. Most will see you as just a customer. Some will also see you as a trick. If this is the case, she is probably turning tricks. And if she is, you shouldn't want to date her anyway. I'm not down in prostitutes. I really try to not judge people for the decisions that they make in their lives. But we are players, not pimps. The pimp and hoe game is a whole different monster to deal with, my guy. So let's just leave that alone. Now, if she is just a stripper who sees you as a customer, cool. Let's go from here. But here's some bad news. She just sees you as a customer, no different than any other guy in the club paying for a lap dance. But
and he is 100% correct on that. If you in the strip club world, man, you in gentlemen's clubs, you in wherever, whatever. If you go in there, right, every girl who dances in there sees you as money. This is how she feeds herself, man. This is how she pays her rent or mortgage. This is how she pays her car note. This is how she feeds her children. This is how she makes her bread. And keep in mind, she has to pay to be in there, right? So it costs her bread just to be there. So she's 100% about money at some level. This is how she makes her bread. So if you're going in there trying to holler at a stripper, first things first, you can never give her any money in there, ever. You can never give her any money. Honestly, you shouldn't be buying her drinks. Like, I'll go in there, I'll buy a drink or whatever. I'm cool with it. You give me good conversation. I understand the game. I understand this is a business. So if you come in and, you talk to me like you got some sense, you break off some good knowledge or whatever, you're just very entertaining while we're sitting there, I'll buy you a drink. You know what I mean? If I'm sitting there eating and you sitting there like, oh, you want an appetizer? I'll get you an appetizer. I'll do that. But once I do that, she's going to see me as a customer for real. I'm in her customer funnel, right? So if you're really trying to holler at a stripper, man, you can never, ever give her money inside that establishment. You got to see her outside that establishment. Period. That's the only way. Get her to, it used to be get a real number, but now everybody gives up their number for social media. But get her to meet you outside that establishment. At least if she does that, then she's trying to holler for free now. Don't say, hey, just show up for dinner and I'm gonna give you $200. That's tricking, whether you seal the deal or not. So she comes to just have a date with you, shows up to hang out with you for drinks or whatever, a meal, whatever. That's a step in the right direction. But still, man, dating strippers is it's a lot of work.
Here's the good news. Your boy King Dose has the keys to the castle. I've pulled a few strippers in my lifetime, and just like any other woman, they are full of insecurities and issues. You would think someone who takes their clothes off for a living would be full of confidence, but strippers have their own set of neuroses. But back to you. First of all, find a new club to go to, or at least stop going to the ones you frequent for a few months. Now let's get back down to business. There are 5 different types of strippers you must learn how to spot. Number.
Now, why did he say find a new club to go to or stop going to the ones you frequent for a long time, right? It's about what I just said, getting out of the customer funnel. It's a reset. You got to go in there. The women who knew you, they're going to come up to you like, oh, he'll buy me a drink, he'll buy me an appetizer, or he'll throw some money on the stage, or he'll do the VIP dance or whatever, a lap dance. They know that. They'll come, they're going to, oh, here go money. You got to come in there like, nah, I'm not doing that no more. That takes a lot of work, and they're going to be upset, right? They're going to be mad, and they're going to tell all the girls to stay away from you. So it's going to be really hard if you're trying to holler at somebody, but that's what he means. And as far as my experience, yeah, I can, in my life, I'm in my 50s now, guys. So when I was younger, really in these streets, I think I was able to holler at 2 dancers. No, 3 dancers in my life. It was like 3 times. And I never dated them. I was able to, kind of get them into the rotation. They never stayed in the rotation long because they knew they were in a rotation. You're dealing with a pro. Like, she's a sex worker, so she knew she was in a rotation. She didn't stay there long. But I was able to pull, like I said, 3. So, bro, this is a lot of work. But listen to his different types. Like he said, he's got, what did he say, 4 or 5 types? He's about to talk about the first type of dancer.
Number 1, the call girl stripper. We have already scratched her off the list, so if you meet this type of stripper, leave her be. Number 2, the hustler stripper. This girl is serious about her money. Either you pay or you go. She has no time for your small talk. All she wants is to get you in the back and bleed you dry from lap dances. There's no negotiating with her. The only language she speaks is currency, period. 3.
So the reason I wanted to pause it there, he ain't never lied about that. There are women in there, they go in there, boy, they about that money. That's it. They're about that money in and outside of the club. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense to them, and they trying to do it. And the way they look at sex is a tool to get what they want, bro. It's all transactional to them. It's all transactional. Some of these, the hustler dancers, some of them, they might have a dude, a long-term boyfriend, but when you really find out what it is, he's probably the dude that got him into the game in the first place. And he's kind of operating more as a manager, not quite as a pimp, but more as a manager. Like, she turns to him for advice, and he's telling her what to do with the money. He's driving her cars. He's living in her space. You know what I mean? So he's running his game on her while she's running game on you. But she's about her money. And the reason I paused it here, you look at Travis Hunter's situation and his fiance, girlfriend, whatever she is, if in fact she did used to dance and she was in that world, just as you look at these different types of women, think which one you think she is. Mind you, on her wedding ring finger, there's a $sign. Like, that's a tattoo on her finger. There's a $sign. So you let me know which one you think she lines up with.
The drugged out stripper. She needs to be high all of the time. Whether it's pills, liquor, or coke, she needs her special medicine just to make it through the night. This girl is on a downward spiral. Don't you even think about playing Captain Save-A-Ho. Let her go. Number 4, daddy's girl. This stripper has daddy issues, hence the name Daddy's Girl. She never really had a strong father figure in her life. A high percentage of these chicks have been abused as children. It's sad but true. A friend or former boyfriend probably introduced her to the strip game, and she has gotten addicted to the easy money and is comfortable with being there. Number 5, the college stripper. She's there temporarily, and she really is going to school and trying to better herself. But books and classes cost money. So she is doing what she has to do to get to where she needs to be. You want to stay away from number 1, 2, and 3. Your chances will be better with 4 and 5. Now, I will say this. If the hustler stripper sees a way that she can get bread with you and not just from you, she may be open to kick it with you, but she has to see an upside to it for her and her pocketbook. So let's just say you
Y'all see that part right there? If the hustler stripper sees a way to the bag, that she's going to be with you and she is going to present whatever she needs to present to get to that bag. Again, go back and look at all this content that's going out here about Travis Hunter's situation, right? I ain't mad at her. She's running the right game, right? Her game is on point, and she's in the fourth quarter, bro. 2-minute warning, right? So right now, she's up by 3, but it ain't looking good because she's fumbled, right? She done fumbled the ball. She done made some bad moves, and now she's out there playing defense, not even prevent. She's playing defense. She's trying to stop what's coming because there's a lot going on right now. It's going to mess up her plans. Now, the final play she can make here is the oldest play in the book, the baby trap. All she got to do is get pregnant. She gets pregnant with his child, she's set for life. So that's something to keep your eye on. Let's continue.
meet daddy's girl or college stripper, how do you get her to go out with you? Well, you have to get into her mind. She has 50 guys every night, if not more, hitting on her or worse, grabbing on her and fondling her. Men are a blur to her. Everyone is a potential customer, not a soulmate. Truthfully, she has a poor image of men by now. When she approaches you and asks, would you like to dance? Offer to buy her a drink instead. If she is 1 or 2, she will just move on. Plus, the call girl stripper will dance if you want a good time anyway. If she is 3, she may take you up on it, but after a few minutes, you could tell if she's a druggie or not. Just peep out her demeanor. She will already be high and spaced out or itching for a hit. Now, if 4 or 5 takes you up on your offer, they will sit for a few minutes, but that's it, only for a few minutes. They have money to make, so after that drink, she will say thank you and move on. It's up to you to use those few minutes that you have to qualify her and see if she is primed for taking direction. When you introduce yourself, she will give you her stripper name. Don't push the issue and try to get her real name. That will come later. If you came with friends, let her know that they forced you to come and you usually don't go to strip clubs. It's just not your thing.
That part he said about the name is real important. Whenever I'm in the clubs, I'm in the general clubs, I get approached by one of the dancers. She comes up and she gives me a stripper name. I give her a stripper name. So if she comes up and she says, my name is Ebony, I'll say my name is Ivory. You know what I mean? She comes up and says, my name is Cheetah. I'll like, my name is Lionel. All right, it's just whatever. I'm using my wit. Y'all know I'm a stand-up comedian, so it's easy for me. I'm just having fun. So I'll take a name. I'll make up a name. You know, then she's making up a name. And the name has to be absolutely obvious, like you are making it up. Because she is going to press you. Well, why won't you give me your real name? I'm like, you ain't give me your real name, so we just making up names. I'm with that. She's gonna laugh. Right? This is how you break the ice. This is how you get into the conversation, guys. But you got to be good at conversation. Don't be, you can learn this in the club. But if you're going in there trying to get a relationship with a girl, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you're going in trying to have a romantic relationship, then your conversational skills got to be on point. It's the same as if you out in the real world trying to holler at somebody, your conversational skills got to be on point. Remember that.
You're by yourself, tell her you were bored and wanted to get a drink, and this was the first place that you saw. What this does is let her know from jump that you are not just another customer looking for a lap dance. Like I said before, you only have a few minutes to make a good impression on her. Before I continue, let me give you one of life's little secrets. Every single person on this planet is about self-preservation and the pursuit of personal gain. As you certify her, that must be in the back of your mind. People want to know what it is that you can do for them, not the other way around. Why should you be the guy she lets enter behind the invisible velvet rope? Why should you have access to her personal life? So here's some generic game you can shoot at her real fast. Let her know what you do for a living and make it sound successful. Next, say to her verbatim, it's something about you that's different than the rest of these girls. I can sense it. Dancing is just something you're doing for now. What else do you have planned for your life? If she's the college stripper, she will say that she's in school and what she's in school for. Cool. And you go from there. If not, she is most likely a daddy's girl and will say something to the effect of, not really, I just like dancing. Okay, she's a daddy's girl. Let's go with that. She is not used to being around thorough men. She's used to dealing with perverts and losers who look at her like a piece of meat. And that is the reason you always keep eye contact. Trust me, she will notice that you are not looking at her tits or ass. After a little more small talk, you should be the one who suggests that she should get back to work. Let her know that you don't want her to miss out on any money, but to check back with you later for that dance or to just come back between songs for another drink and small talk. I usually don't keep buying women drinks at a club, but this is different. She's a stripper and you don't want to look cheap. Plus, you just made the table you're sitting at her break spot whenever she wants to chill out and have a free drink. Trust me, she will be back. When she comes back, this is the time when you should let her know that it would benefit her to really get to know you and why. Let her know that she seems smart and you have a few business ideas to run past her. If she pressures you about the business, say you want to invest in something like selling women's clothes or makeup or hair because you see how much money that these chicks are making on Instagram, and you need a woman's touch since this is not your expertise. You need a front person. Break down how much money is involved and don't be afraid when you're paying for those drinks to flash a nice roll of money. I said flash it, not spend it. After a little more small talk, answer would it be cool to take her out to lunch or breakfast to pick her brain. Right about now, she is confused and doesn't know what to think about you. But one thing she doesn't know for sure is that you're not like these other guys. So most likely she'll say yes. Trade numbers, tell her you got business to take care of in the morning, so you're out. And there you have it. Your foot is in the door. Now it's up to you to keep spitting that A1 game into her ear until she is giving you private lap dances in her bedroom. And don't worry, if you join Player University or even just keep looking at these videos, I'm going to tell you how to spit that game, that A1 game. So I got you, partner. And oh yeah, here's a couple of rules you have to follow after you and her are having entanglements. Shout out to Jada Pinkett. 1, do not, I repeat, do not become the jealous guy who gets mad every time you see a guy hitting on her at the club or every time her phone rings. You're not her boyfriend. You're just kicking it with her. Plus, this is where you met her at. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, bucko. Players never become emotionally attached, especially not to a stripper. You're just asking for trouble. Your job is to have fun with her until you are tired of her. It's as simple as that. 2, stay alert. Don't let her run game on you. Never forget that she is still a stripper. She is still 10 toes deep in that game. If she starts asking for money and pressuring you into doing things that you usually wouldn't do, drop her and try again. Follow these rules in the blueprint that I've given you, and you should be good to go. And don't forget to download my free ebook, 7 Ways to Attract Women. Subscribe, click the like button, and hit that little bell because you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. I usually drop videos on Thursdays and Saturdays. Play on, players.
And right there you have it, y'all. Right there you have it. Check out A Dose of Game. He's spot on, especially that part about if you are successful and you manage to get her in your rotation, don't you dare get jealous. Don't you dare get jealous of her going to work. Don't you dare get jealous of her hugging dudes in public when you're out and about. She bumps into one of her top tier clients. Don't you dare get jealous because her phone is going crazy. Don't be mad of her. Be jealous. Talking about I need to see your DMs on your Instagram. What are you doing, homie? Don't do that. Don't do that. Right. So and the thing is, when it comes to women, bro, good girl, bad girl, doesn't matter. What you want is that woman is into you. It just doesn't matter, man. Is she down for you? Right? Will she take a case for you? I'm not saying that that's what you need to be doing. Don't be out there in the streets trying to get women and put your cases on them, but you need that level of commitment. Does she look to you for advice? Does she turn to you when things ain't right? Not just need some quick money or whatever, but are you her confidant? Like, is she happy to see you? Always. If she's having the worst day of the year, you come walking around the corner. Does she start smiling a little bit and runs up to you and hugs you, cries and just like, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong with you? I'm just glad you're here. I'm fine. I'm just glad you're here. And she curl up with you. If she's doing all those things, man, she's down for you. She got your back. Good girl, bad girl, don't matter. You got yourself a good one. Continue with your vetting process, the 2-year vetting process. Continue with, having your people give your opinion, give their opinion of her, right? And continue to basically lead your woman. If she's on that, she's following your lead, she's listening to you, man. She got your back. She's going to be adding value, all that. That's how you know she's a good woman. Good girl or bad girl, it does not matter. You want that woman who's into you. So if anybody out there, bro, got any questions, right? You want to holler at me about anything, there's my Instagram scrolling below. You can holler at me. My rates are reasonable. I do hour consults, whatever you need to talk about, bro. I can help you out with it. And if you don't want to do the consult, that's fine. I tell dudes all the time, like, hey man, you ain't got to break, you ain't got to book a consultation if you don't want to. Just catch one of the lives. I'm on Monday through Friday, generally around 5 p.m. Come on the live and just ask the question in the chat, and I'll probably answer it. I'll give you one or two, right? But I'm not going to give you an hour's worth, right? I'm not going to give you an hour's worth, but bro, do not be afraid to invest in yourself. As guys, as even some women, get that information, man. Get that knowledge if you can. So that's it. That's this deal short. Went a little longer. Normally we keep the shorts real short, but I knew this was gonna go a little longer. We had to run 2 videos. Check out A Dose of Game. Go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, check out the brother's content. I'm here to tell you, bro, I haven't found anyone else on YouTube that comes close to this man and what he is dropping as far as knowledge. If you've never, ever been good in the game and you don't know how to approach women, bro, there is some good advice, some good tips in there, right? If you want to date a dancer, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. Just like Dose said, you really just looking for a quick hit. But if you're going to do it, listen to what he said, bro. That's how you date a stripper. And the good girl, bad girl thing, man, he has so much over there. Y'all need to check him out. He does not pay me. I've never met the brother in real life. We've gone back and forth in the comments, but I've never met the brother. I just really appreciate the message he's putting out there. And I know there are a lot of men out there who need this message, man. So y'all get that game where you can. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'm DL Seaman. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.